the next one before we call it a morning by the close of 10. I also do promise you that we will continue to ask you to send in your donations, and we're going to put the numbers on the screens very soon for you. We have the mobile money platforms available for you. We have the number and then also the merchant number as well. And when you do the donation, you have to take them through this number or credit this number for us to receive 05974 33110 05974 33110. Okay, and then we have the merchant number being 120494 120494. Again, for this Media General 3 Foundation Disaster Relief Fund, we want to emphasize that it's not only those communities or constituencies that are getting traction that also have been affected. So we have many of them across the country. So we have the Northern Belt, we have areas, Afram Plains, bordering or within or located in the Ashanti region. We also have areas just in the Middle Belt, and then you come to the Southern Zone as well. So please make sure that all of us do the donations and make them keep coming, so that we'll all get to know that our brothers and sisters who are in difficulties are having some relief coming from us. This morning, we want to quickly touch base on the incident that happened in Garu, in which we were told that individuals who were spotted in a four-wheel drive, one of these plush four-wheel drives, apparently turned out to be national security officers. And from what we're getting from the National Security Ministry, we're told that multiple rounds of ammunition or bullets were fired on them by irate youth. The youth also say they had seen them and so were concerned about their presence in Garu and took them to the police station. Now we'll show you the pictures of the brutalities, but before we do that, let's first introduce our guest. Fuseni Issa is a lead contender for the Okankwe North parliamentary primaries contest of the ruling party. Fuseni Issa, good morning to you. He's also the former member of parliament for the constituency. Thank you for joining us. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Roland. Good morning to you as well.
Great. Aduji Tamaklo. Aduji Tamaklo is the director for the legal directorate of the NDC, legal practitioner as well. And he's a regular on the show, helps in public discourse. Good morning to you, Aduji Tamaklo.
Good morning. Good morning to Roland. Good morning to the Honorable Issa and your cherished viewers.
Thank you. For many of you who are joining us on Facebook, we want to look at quickly the Garu issue, but also Kennedy Ohini Ejapong, currently the member of parliament for Asen Central, has been making some damning statements. $800 million, he says, had been offered him, but he decided to turn it down, as he puts it in quotes, for the people. Because as we know, he is one of the leading contenders for the presidential candidacy or the presidential candidacy slots of the MPP. We know that according to what the indicators are from Global Info Analytics, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, DMB 2024, it is possible, is a lead contender as far as the polls will go. He's supposed to be the one who will win. But what does it mean? Is there a too hot race now? And with Ken also coming in, what are the implications? Now, let's show you pictures of the incident in Garu, and then I'll have some commentaries and then coming in. So these young people were told were brutalized by military men, and then subsequently the National Security Ministry is also saying that these individuals or young people, they attacked officers of the national security. Who should we be believing? The National Security Ministry, the witness statements from these individuals, or who? It's a concern. Mr. Fuseni Issa. So, according to the National Security Minister, some residents of Garu and Bugri were injured following a dawn military operation in the community. The situation attracted criticism from security analysts. Now, we already know that Dr. Nambona has raised some concerns about the incident. The National Security Ministry said an irate youth on Tuesday, armed with AK-47 rifles, machetes, and other weapons, besieged a team of 5 counter-terrorism intelligence officers deployed by the Ministry of National Security. Now, despite initial attempts to introduce themselves as national security personnel, the ministry said they were attacked. The officers were fired on multiple rounds, and as a result of that, that's what we're seeing: brutalities. All right. So all these chronicles since Tuesday after today. Mr. Hussein Issa, what's the official statement?
Good morning to you again, Johnny. Good morning to Ejoji, and good morning to your viewers, particularly those watching from Obukankwe North this morning. Johnny, this is still an evolving story.
My name is Roland.
Sorry. Roland, this is still an evolving story. Whatever transpired last Tuesday, I mean, lots of us did not get to hear. Just like you have read a story from the National Security Outfit, counter-terrorism officers had been to the constituency to gather information, especially around that part of the country this time around. We know the threat of terrorism in the Sahelian region, and it's threats to our very existence and to our security in this country. So national security itself, it's come out with very creative ways to be able to fight this before it gets to us. You recollect last week the Vice President was in the area to cut tape for the development of certain projects. It is all in an attempt to fight terrorism before it gets to our doorstep. And so this time, Ghanaians should quite be awakened to some of these new and innovative ways to gather information before things actually happen. From what we are gathering, the youth of the area, I am not too sure what actually happened, but they went attacking those national security operatives, even when they had tried to identify themselves as people coming from the national security outfit. They were actually chased to the police station, from what I gather, and they were held at the police station until the military intervened to be able to escort them out of the area. Subsequently, because also of the nature of the area and things that happen in the area, the military, from what I gather, again from the statement released by the National Security, had gone in there to ensure that all those ammunitions that were used by the youth were confiscated to forestall further use of such dangerous weapons. I'm still of the view that this is still evolving. The national security has actually come up. But you see, I've also read the statement of the 2 members of parliament of the area. My thinking is that, unfortunately, on Tuesday, when the other incident happened, they were quiet. They did not speak. We did not hear from them. But now we are hearing from them. It's good that they are waking up to what they have to do. I pray that this incident is investigated. We actually see the finality of it. You see, this recurring tension between civilian and military, or between the populace and the security, it's something that we need to actually forestall. And I pray that the security apparatus will actually improve its civilian military or civilian security relationship, such that if the civilian populace are aware that this is what is happening in our area, I am sure they will cooperate rather than fight whatever attempts the national security is making to. But I also understand that sometimes some of these things will have to be done overtly, and so these things will happen. But I think that the appropriate authorities should actually investigate this matter if somebody is found culpable with whether the civilian population or the military. I think that so we can move on as a nation. But we need such a anti or counter-terrorism actions to forestall, to fight the threat coming from the Sahelian region. So some of these things, we rather need to cooperate rather than fight each other on these matters.
And what about you? Your own observation so far in terms of what has been coming from the National Security Ministry, the Member of Parliament for the area, and then subsequently what the DISEC or the security analysts have been saying, Aduji?
So I've observed the events that have happened in Garo, and I'm disappointed in the statement by the National Security Ministry. Completely disappointing statement. Sometimes you believe that with the vast experience that persons like the Honorable Kandapah have with politics in Ghana and these associated matters, the response of the military and personnel associated with his ministry should reflect a certain level of growth and maturity.
Being
that, the claim by the National Security is that some of their personnel who were on a counter-terrorism assignment, the people in Garo, consistent with the ministry's own call, see something, say something. Is that what it is?
Yes.
That's what the ministry itself has advised Ghanaians.
They launched that in conjunction with
Exactly,
the
that when we see anything unusual, when we see it, we should say something. That is the ministry's own claim. So the people saw a car, they didn't know who they were, and what have you. Eventually, we are being told that even when the people approached them, they managed to move to a police station.
True.
So the record as we speak is that no national security personnel was manhandled or physically touched. That's what, even from their own narration. But have a look at the videos, the pictures we are seeing. The extent to which innocent persons have been brutally assaulted. And the ministry under Mr. Kandapah issues a statement, as it were, to provide a justification for brutalizing innocent Ghanaians. Mr. Kandapah, this is a low, completely low, honorable. You yourself told us when we see something, we should say something. Obviously, the situation was a bit suspicious. And that is why the people reacted in the way they did. If you have reason to believe that some people led the attack, that is why you are a national security ministry. That is why you deploy the best of your talent to gather intelligence as to the persons who committed those offenses, and not to enter houses, homes, and beat people. In fact, this morning, I was listening to City FM, their morning news when I was coming. The assembly member for the area narrates how a 6-year-old boy was equally brutalized. I mean, and you see, for me, the involvement, like Honorable Fuseli said, the involvement of the military, okay, of the military in policing has not been the best. Listen, look, the moment Mr. Akufo-Addo became president, a few things have happened that we have always spoken about. But it appears anytime we do, it falls on,
deaf ears.
Deaf ears. Look, you recall, there was a senior police officer by name Nanka Bruce. You remember?
Yes.
How at the office of the president, this senior police officer was brutally assaulted by a person who today, the record will show, had been further promoted by Mr. Akufo-Addo within the security sector. It has not ended there. We saw how, for the first time in the history of this country, soldiers under the command of the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, the President, stormed Parliament. To date, we don't know who gave that command. Roland, do you know that if the Speaker of Parliament, okay, pushes men or soldiers to go to the Jubilee House because the Speaker of Parliament believes that there is confusion in Parliament, that would amount to treason? Do you know that? That would be treasonable. But Akufo-Addo could do that quietly. And it's like we have put that under. We saw how in Techiman South, in order to get a second term, soldiers and armed officers killed beyond 6 innocent Ghanaians whose only crime is that they were at a particular polling station. That was their only crime. So the extrajudicial use of the military in civilian issues is not good enough. And I strongly believe that the Chief of Defense Staff must begin to engage his officers. We are pleading with him. Look, in building this democracy, we need soldiers. But we need civilians as well. Those soldiers who went to Garo, they should know that if the whole Garo township rises up against them, they can't survive it. So you need cooperation. And that is why, thankfully, this is even a Ministry of National Security. What it means is that the base of our intelligence setup is under this ministry. Are you telling me that persons who storm a police station, okay, and allegedly attacked the soldiers or the counterintelligence official, you mean we can't identify them? That must be intelligence failure. But to go into a whole community and decide to beat anybody on sight, look at the hospitals, look at the videos, the emergency rooms. I mean, this is regrettable. Some of these things takes us back. And the fear I have is that this thing is not happening under a military regime. This is happening under the leadership of a man that the media told us was a human rights lawyer, human rights fighter. He fought for human rights. He's done this. He's done this. How come that these things are happening? And in all of this, you will never hear Mr. Akufo-Addo raise anything. You will keep quiet. And this one too, will just, after a week or so, they will also become part of the statistics. I mean, we can't live in this country like that. It doesn't happen. Can you imagine national security coming out to say that, you know what? After this assault on our men, we deployed counterintelligence officials within the community. We have found A, B, C, D men, and this is what they have done. How beautiful it will be for us to celebrate that in the national security, we have some of the best investigators and intelligence officers. But to take the law into your own hands in an extrajudicial manner, beat people up, men, women, children, what is this? That's completely shameful.
Yeah. Well, we also had the statement also saying that weapons were retrieved. We've seen pictures of weapons as well, also displayed on television, and also speaks to the bigger issue. And this one I got further to the aforesaid development. The ministry conducted a joint operation in Garo to seize weapons used by the perpetrators of the attack on the national security personnel. A number of the perpetrators have also been arrested. We're told that a number of them have been arrested and they were airlifted to Accra. Pictures to that effect as well. So I think that all that is being called for is some level of clarity on what really transpired, and if somebody had committed a crime or an alleged crime, is that how they are treated before prosecution, so to speak?
Roland, I'm just getting further or some particulars about the incident, I'm seeing pictures of the vehicle that the national operatives, national security operatives were using in Garu, and I'm saying it. They are chilling pictures. I mean, for a civilian population to be able to have that sort of arms to shoot into a Toyota Land Cruiser, I'm more likely, or I'm more inclined to believe that this is a bulletproof vehicle, because for these bullets to go through this vehicle to this extent, I wish your viewers could see. I'm not rationalizing whatever treatment was given to this militant association in Garu. Or
what do you mean by militant association?
That's what I'm gathering. That these are a group of militant. You describe
Ghanaian citizens.
I said that is what I'm.
You
gathering.
describe Ghanaian citizens
I am
as
not
militant.
saying. I said that's what I'm gathering. For them to have that level of ammunition, to be able to attack national security operatives to that extent, it frightens me. It frightens me. Short of, I am not by any extent rationalizing whatever excesses might have happened, but for what happened, I think that there was a need for us to be swiftly get into the community, retrieve all those illegal ammunition to forestall the happening of some of these things. It's chilling. I mean, if you see those pictures, I wish you could show also those pictures to your viewers this morning.
And you see, Honorable Issa, and that is the more reason why there was the need for investigation. Remember that it is not the case that immediately this so-called attack on the national security personnel, the men from the military, among others, went to the place immediately. That was not the case.
Mr. Tamaklo,
there was an
the security operatives ID'd themselves, tried to tell the people. They brought up ID cards showing that we are from this outfit. They identified themselves. So, I mean,
no,
what
actually
pushed this?
In all of this, you have not said here that one national security officer was manhandled by these people.
Massa,
no.
They didn't.
These guys,
but you're seeing the pictures that I'm
showing this were able to go to the nearby police station. And in fact, from the national security's own narrative, eventually they brought in men from Northeast, soldiers from Northeast, to come and, as it were, rescue them. So none of the officers were manhandled. Now you are saying that you have seen evidence or photo of cars with...
You've been saying that militia.
Yes.
Do we have militia in Ghana?
And so that in and of itself, hold on.
I cannot conclude if we have militias, but we have to ensure that these militias do not come.
What do you mean by militia?
Militia was your word. You were using the word militia.
No. He introduced you.
You introduced the word militia. I didn't say militia. Militia is your word.
You understand?
You started using the word militia. You started using the word militia.
But you see, the most important thing for me is that, look, we were here in Ashama. We were told an officer was killed by armed robbers. Armed robbers. The next time, a whole town, military men went there and assaulted other persons. I don't encourage this. It is not good for the image of the Ghana Armed Force. Look, anytime there is major conflict globally, it is the men and women in the Ghanaian uniform. They go there. Look, today in Rwanda, the lives of General Anyidoho and co are celebrated because of the leadership he and his men demonstrated in those war-torn areas. And that record is there. We always celebrate these great men. I mean, how come that today, the least provocation, they go, they beat everybody on sight? And that for me is where I have a challenge. This is coming from a national security ministry. You have the benefit within the intervening period to gather intelligence, who and who came to the police station, who and who did that. Apprehend them.
And my question is,
And
even if you
they are
arrest
holding
people,
machine gun,
if you
can
arrest
charge
people,
them
do you
for
brutalize
possession
them before you prosecute them?
I mean, this extrajudicial meting out of punishment to Ghanaian civilians does not accord one with the 1992 constitution that requires that every Ghanaian should be treated with a certain level of dignity. I mean, this is certainly low. And what Minister Kandapaa should be doing, it should be apologizing to the people in Garo who have suffered this brutality. There's no justification whatsoever for it. I'm disappointed that anybody would try to romanticize. I mean, look at the back of Ghanaian people. This thing, when it gets to the international media, what image does it send about us? Issa, Johnny should be condemned outright.
All right, don't call me Johnny again, please.
I'm getting.
I take a
Roland,
strong exception to that.
Roland,
I'm getting
Roland,
disappointed.
Roland, my point this morning is that
you've made your point. You are claiming that they are militia. Dr. Hassan Ayariga is even. I need to contribute.
The claim of a militia. The word militia came from you. The word militia came from you, not me.
I'm getting so many.
You started, not me.
Look, just see. I can't show these pictures.
But I wish you could also show the pictures that I sent to you.
Look, these people, look, let the record reflect. The soldiers simply went there by way of revenge. Simple. And for you to officially communicate that the state apparatus went on vengeance.
No, that's not what the statement is saying.
But
the statement said they had gone there to retrieve the weapons that the youth used against the national security.
At the back of the
they had gone to retrieve the weapons. That's what the statement is saying. But you should see the chilling pictures of the vehicle in which the national operators were in. Let's not look at the back. There are two sides of it.
When you look at the back of innocent Ghanaian civilian, you mean you was carrying a gun on his back? If the essence was gun retriever, he was carrying it. Look
my point here is this one. Listen, look, I would not rationalize any excesses that happened in Garo or Tempani. I mean, if they did. But the fact that the young people in the area could have weapons to that extent, if you look at the chilling, I don't know if Roland has been able to show the pictures of the vehicle.
Which vehicle?
The vehicle in which the national...
The picture you sent me.
Yes, the pictures I sent you. Oh, okay. Okay.
These ones I can verify.
I'm sure those ones you can verify.
These are verified videos. This
right.
One. The helicopter
If I mean, military, for the information that is available to me, it's chilling. It's chilling.
So
it's very chilling. And so if they had gone there to retrieve these weapons, I mean, that's fine. But then again, I mean, I would not rationalize any excesses that happen because it is not what we should be experiencing.
Our next point of conversation is about some damning statement Kennedy Ohene Japan has been making on the campaign trail as well as platforms and conversations. Let's listen to Kennedy Japan.
BBC delegates any Ghana who don't, I will never do it.
Time FM.
The money they offered was $800 million. If he doesn't know, you should ask Mr.
Oh, they offered.
They offered $800 million.
Not even 500.
No. Says I know Candia, and I'm saying they see for Ghana first. Namono 2016, I'm doing top pickups. And then you to me $800 million. But I have not. I have not.
Other one is Jesus can.
Mary, I won't hear me say, let's drop the now. What the November 4th? Yeah, what do I say? Yeah, person would tempt me as a Mecca BB, no Marco K. But they offered $800 million. Omo friend, Mr. Pombizu, on the Minkasana Missy from $800 million. And I'm saying, Ghana who don't mean yet. Now the mean
Time FM.
Because Jesus is going to Ghana, watch the woman. Mean yet. I've not done it. Besides that, I'm painful. I think me friend me. I come show. Some me vice president. Me say, what do me vice president cry? O ma catch him please. Who vice president cry on tomorrow? Say you na who lead Ghana. Now we must serve under this government. Who don't buy him? The why should I even step down? Near co-opposition. And he mean And they may be a different person who said, move to me, Ghana for Nipa Bear 10. To second a Japan, me, Yamanum, Kagana Bekonim. Ghana, Quebeconin. I don't want to call Bono region. What is saying? Oh, come on. Yes. He said, John, you see, me not completed because John said, here delegate. Here delegate.
Well, that said, we've also had concerns being raised by the Vice President as well. We'll take through to the Vice President also raising concerns about some of these statements, as well as other statements that he's been having MPs, toll lines, etc. And we'll take also that from the Vice President.
Third lie that I have heard this morning is that I want to say that all sitting MPs should go unopposed, that nobody should contest a sitting MP. How can I say that? The party constitution cannot even allow that. This party is stronger when we have democracy working. And so I will never say any sitting MP must go unopposed. There must be consensus in any constituency. And so that lie should be left alone. But as I say, their tactic is that if you miss the ball, don't miss the man. But as for this, they will miss the man because we will not allow their lies to take root.
Husseini, what's happening?
Roland,
Ken says 800 million. Who gave him the 800 million?
Roland, the New Patriotic Party is in the process of selecting its flag bearer for elections 2024, and we are in the final week. Hopefully, a week from now, we should come back here with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia having been selected as the flag bearer of the party. I say so, and I support Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia unapologetically because I believe that he is the man who can lead the party to break the eight. We are seeking to do something that has never happened since 1993. So it means that in-house itself, we should have a credible candidate who can lead the party into the elections and win. It is not just about selecting a flag bearer. It is about selecting somebody who can win us elections. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has demonstrated his public conduct, how he has held himself, how he has spoken in public, how humble he is. I mean, he's demonstrated through his work in the digitalization. Say whatever you want. Today, it is impacting on our very existence. This is a man who has contested in 4 straight elections for the party. He's been vice president for 7 years. It is just a step ahead to make him president. So I support him, and I urge the delegates of the party, come Saturday. You see, for a party like ours, every time we have united behind a particular candidate, we have won elections. So with J.A. Kufuor, so with Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and I pray, and I hope, and I'm sure it is going to happen for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as well, come Saturday. See, this is a man who is proven to us by the electoral fortunes that he's brought to this party. A constituency like Wale Wale. We first won in 2012, and since then, we have held on to that seat. In fact, in the last elections, during the presidential elections, we won that constituency by 54%. It's demonstrated that this man is made our party attractive in that part of the country. And given that, look, when the NDC looks at its electoral strength, there are 3 areas that the NDC looks at: the Zongos, the Volta region, and the northern part of this country. And already he's shown that, look, the northern part of the country, he surpassed the performance of the NDC. Look at the old northern region as it was. When NDC was winning 27 out of 31 seats, we're winning just 4.
To the NDC or you're
I'm not. I am talking about the contest oncoming. Whatever Honorable Kennedy Japan said, it was in relation to the contest on Saturday. And I'm telling you that he has said what he wants to say. But I am extolling the virtues and why the party should select Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, why he can lead us to break the 8th camp 2024. This is a man who I mean, given the fact that, yes, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, given that the tag on our party is seen as what? An Anakan party. For the first time in the history of this tradition, for the first time, we're having a known account, being the front runner. You see, it goes on to, there's a parable in the Bible. There's a parable in the Bible where King Solomon had the decision to decide who a baby belonged to. Two mothers or two women were fighting over a baby. The real mother of the baby was praying to the king not to divide the baby into two. The other, who was a counterfeit, who really did not own the baby, was praying that the baby should be divided into two.
So
and that's akin to what is happening. Because the presumptive leader, the presumptive winner of this contest, you are not going to spoil everything and go to say things that would not unite our party come elections 2024. But Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's is to unite the party, to ensure that everybody comes under the elephant to execute elections 2024, to ensure that we win, and we win really, really, really well. Those allegations that Honorable Kennedy is making, either he was offered 800 million. It's a lot of money. This country, have you gauged the comments on social media? Roland, this country is currently under an IMF program. We went to the IMF for 3 billion, and we are getting tranches of 600 million. Where are we going to get 800 million to give to Honorable Kennedy Agyapong for him to step down? Lying. Those are your words. Where are we going to get? Where are we going to get 800 million? And who has that 800 million to give to him? Look, we know what is going to happen on Saturday because, look, we are members. We are members of the party. We know who are going to vote. We are leaders in the constituencies. We are leaders in the electoral areas. We have worked and we know how this contest is going to go. And if I know a contest, I am going to win a contest. I am not going to go see and make sure that I just make the water murky for everybody. No. I am going to stay focused. I am going to ensure that, look, the unity that we will need after the elections on November 4th, come Saturday, we are able to achieve it. Those allegations on chairman, the chairman have come out to speak. The chairman have come out to speak. Allegations of amounts of money doled out to this chairman. They have come out to speak. No chairman got that sort of amount. I am still very surprised that Honorable Kennedy Agyapong has been speaking. What we are asking, bring the evidence. Bring the evidence. He himself, in any case, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, I will say on this platform, he has provided pickups to people who are working for him within the regions. And that's a fact. That is a fact. He can do it. He can provide pickups to his coordinators, his regional coordinators, and other coordinators within this contest. But no one else can do that. And when someone else does that, it's akin to bribery to ensure that he wins elections. Please, what we need as a party is to go into this contest and come out of the contest stronger. I am saying, every time we have united behind a particular candidate, we win elections. All we need is unity. These allegations and all of that, we are in the dying embers of the contest. You expect that some of these things will come up. But when they do, let's be measured. Let us be measured. Let's not give ammunition to Ejudi Tamaklo and his people. Let us not do that. Let us not make it the water to make it difficult for us as a party. We have heard these allegations. They will still remain allegations. They have no proof. I think that, look, the presumptive leader, the presumptive winner of the contest comes Saturday. He is not going to go that route. His is to unite everybody. And this issue of threats, I have heard members of Honorable Kennedy Agyapong's team threatening MPs who are supporting Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia that if Kennedy Agyapong wins, they are going to make sure that all those MPs will lose. I mean, it is uncalled for. This is not the first time we are going for a contest like this one. Nana Addo went through this contest with Honorable Alan Kyerematen. At no stage did we get to this point where MPs were threatened, where ministers were threatened.
Say that
where
again.
non-entities.
MPs are being threatened.
Yes. That those supporting Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, in the very, very unlikely event that Kennedy Agyapong wins the contest, they are all going to be contested and swept out of Parliament. And I think that those are very uncalled for. Those are very unnecessary. And those are not the sort of speeches or or saying that will unite this party like we will need to do come 2024. So they are very unnecessary. My very humble appeal to Honorable Kennedy Agyapong that he should recognize that this is an internal contest. And every politician will tell you, internal contests are very difficult. Difficult because you are competing with somebody who the next day you have to come and sit down and strategize with to win the bigger elections. And so we have to look at this in that context. It is an internal election. Let us keep it as that. Let us keep our pronouncements and whatever we say internally and not say things that will make it very difficult for this party to unite.
I ask you a question.
Further
you
to
this $800 million claim. Do you think it is a lie?
He made allegation. The journalist there asked him where or who made that offer, and he refused to say. If you ask me, how am I going to answer? He himself, who made the allegation, he had made the allegation, and he's refusing to give further and better particulars. How am I supposed to know? Roland, how am I supposed to know? I expected him to say, oh, Roland Walker came to me with this pronouncement. All he did was he's mentioned a very good friend of his that a call came through to him. As to its veracity, I am unable to verify. You see, so it is not a question that I am. But look, $800 million is a lot of money, given where we are today as an economy. I don't think anybody who, because of this contest on Saturday, look at the Daily Guide. Look at the Daily Guide front page. Look at all the polls that are coming through. And if these polls are coming through, why would
I'll read Musa Dankwa's.
Why would anybody go to make such an offer that is for me? For me, it's beyond the attainable regions. What is Musa saying?
You think no one in Ghana can offer Kennedy Agyapong
800 million? Oh my God! For this contest,
are you saying he's lying?
I am saying that when the journalist asked him to give particulars of who had approached him, all he said was that a call came through to Mr. Opombio. That's fine. But if he is saying that, how am I supposed to say whether... But I am telling you that 800 million is too much money. And nobody, I don't expect anybody to make such an offer in a contest that I think that the contest is almost over, given what we are reading. Even look at Mr. Dankwa's polls. I mean, why would anybody...
Well, the polls from Global Info Analytics, Musa Dankwa, Executive Director, leading the research team, puts Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, DMB 2024, it is possible, as the one to win the poll. However, he says that they are undecided, and then also individuals within the ranges of 14, I believe, as to 12 as well, so who have remained undecided. But it is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ultimately that the vote could tilt towards, and so will win. On the sidelines, as you observe this, what do you make of this, Edwige?
You see, I think the point must be made clear.
That what?
That even as you observe Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia on the campaign trail, he doesn't talk about policy issues.
Because it's an internal context.
No, but you... No, wait. Oh, sorry.
Why?
No. Let me just a point of... He talks about issues that will make the party stronger. An example is it's an internal context. So an example is how to improve upon government-party relationships. And he's offered a suggestion, saying that if I become president, this is the number of appointments that I have, and I'm going to use that as a tool to ensure that the appointees become accountable to the party.
So how many appointments is he going to make when he becomes president?
Yeah, the president makes in the ranges of 7,000. Okay. And he says, look, this is the percentage that I am going to use to ensure that there is a government party cohesion, such that the issues that we face today, the NDC itself has the same issues. So he has come out with policies. So you cannot say that he's going around with that policy. It is an internal contest. He is dealing with the delegates, the police station executives of the party, and that is where he's putting, and that is where he's putting his policies. Those policies are not addressed to you. It is addressed to the members of the
15
party
minutes now.
who are going to vote come Saturday. And that's where he wants the matter to remain. It still remains an internal contest. And that will give him a better start to be able to unite the party post the elections. And this is what we expect from our leaders.
From you, please.
So let me go back to my issue. Dr. Bawumia campaigning for the flag bearer position within the MPP has not been talking about policy issues.
No. Those are wrong statements.
All he's been telling the delegates of the MPP is that Christians and Muslims are at war, and that he is going to bring unity among them. Dr. Bawumia, in the past 30 years that we've done, stop this. The past 30 years that we've done this 1992 constitution, Christians and Muslims have lived peacefully, without trouble.
He has siblings who are Christians.
We have the benefit.
Disruptive this morning.
We have
no, because you allow him to say things that are not benefit. Why you allow him to say that?
We have
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has never said anywhere that Christians and Muslims are at war. He has siblings who are Christians. So how would you say
the national chief imam,
say that he's
the national chief imam going to a Catholic church? This is phenomenal. It is not happening because of Bawumia. And so when he goes to the MPP delegates and tell them that they need to vote for him to bring unity and harmony among Christians and Muslims, completely far-fetched. And that is how Bawumia has weaponized religion, even within the MPP internal context. And for me, it's a huge warning, red flag to all of us. Two, when you look at this contest, I've heard Bawumia, and usually when he goes on the campaign trail, he will say, oh, my father is so and so. Yes, lawyer so and so. One time CEO of Cocoa Board. One time chairman of Council of State. But you know what? I grew up doing many jobs, doing ABCD. I don't know why he's communicating. But he tells this to the delegates. Now he goes on to say, yes, you know what? My dad, Bawumia, had 17 children. Oh, 9 are Christian, so and so. How relevant is that conversation? And that is why I'm saying that you can see a deliberate weaponization of religion, even within the MPP internal context.
How is he doing that?
And you know what? He goes there and tells, you know what? I am the one coming to bring unity and harmony between MPP. You've been so unruly. You've been so unruly, and it's untidy this morning. It's untidy. I kept quiet. I was making notes.
No, but you're making points. You're making points that are total. I mean,
I was making notes.
How can you be saying this like
this? It's so untidy. Please.
Look, when we come here, we say things that will bring national cohesion. We don't say things that will divide. But that's what he's saying, allies, and you are refusing to stop him. That Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is using religion as a tool to bring this harmony. And that is not true. That is not true. You should tell him that it is not true.
So I asked him, how is he doing that? That's a question.
And he has not answered that, and you have allowed him to go.
I gave him the
You have not allowed him to
You are being very disruptive, to be
I am not. I am not being disruptive. I am not being disruptive. I am not being disruptive. I am not being.
He wants to destroy the program, but let's demonstrate emotional intelligence to defeat him. You see, if you pick the candidature of Bawumia, and I've always maintained that this candidature is a third term for Akufo-Addo. And that is why, in the words of Professor Frimpong Boateng, the Minister of Finance had promised that whatever financial resources required
for what?
By Dr. Bawumia. He said it on your own hot issues, your own station, that the finance minister had given the assurance that all the money required by Bawumia to win this poll will be made available. That statement was made on TV3, just for the record. So, you see, we have a situation where Akufo-Addo, having realized the harm, the pain that he had afflicted on Ghanaians, to avoid accountability, wants someone who would take over immediately after him, provide him the necessary immunity.
Dr. Bawumia is his own man, is it not?
Look, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has always been an experiment for Akufo-Addo and his family.
That cannot be true.
Read Arthur Kennedy's book, Chasing the Elephant into the Bush, The Politics of Complacency. At that time, Arthur Kennedy was Director of Communication for the Akufo-Addo Bawumia campaign in 2008. And he says in very clear terms that the Bawumia candidature was a proposal by Ken Ofori-Atta, and that the initial choice of running mate by Mr. Akufo-Addo was Hajji Alima. That is well documented and is there. And so the whole Bawumia candidature is a project, it's a political experiment by the Akufo-Addo family. And it's also, like I pointed out earlier, a test of our national sanity. And it's important, we made this point, that whole candidature, that together with your boss, you have destroyed an economy generationally. And you say that, look, I want to take over and continue the mess. Unbelievable.
Invariably meaning what?
Invariably meaning that, listen, at this point, Bawumia thinking that he can even take over from Akufa, it's an insult to the Ghanaian intelligence.
How so?
Listen to me carefully.
He's been a vice president.
This is a vice president who his boss told us that he's bringing him because he's the economic messiah and that he has the magic wand to transform our economic problems, right? At the time when his boss told us this, food inflation was 9.7%. Today, food inflation is doing almost 50%. We have never seen this before. I mean, we saw a situation where inflationary pressure rose to 54%, the worst since we started the 1992 political experiment. The worst. And the man who is the chair of the team that had produced this dubious outcome says that I am the best to take over. Complete insult to our intelligence. But you see, my friend here says, you know, Bawumia is the reason why MPP is doing well in the north. I mean, and you see, again, it demonstrates a certain lack of depth. A certain lack of, you know, deep analysis.
I've heard Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say the seats that the NDC held years back or in past elections have dwindled subsequently. And if you look at the statistics...
So let me deal with it. Let me deal with this issue. The NPP, they are telling us, for instance, that when Hassan Tampoli won Guchegu, it's because of Bawumia. I mean, like how? You are telling us that when Amin Anta won Karaga, it's because of Bawumia.
Well, somebody will ask, why not?
I mean, how? What is Bawumia's influence? You are saying that when Abu Jinapo won Damongo, it's because of Bawumia's influence. Unless you don't even understand what you are talking about. If you really appreciate the dynamics of the North, the intertribal ethnic dimensions and conversation, you will not sit on live television and make this. But I'm happy that they are thinking this way. It is good. Because obviously, when you go to a doctor, and the doctor, instead of diagnosing the problem, misdiagnoses it and provide a prescription. You know that this doctor he's not even worth the position or that whole accolade of being called a doctor. But you see, there's even a more serious matter. This morning we are being told that Kene Japan is the counterfeit between the two women. The analogy that was provided.
Okay.
That
Solomon, the Bible.
Yes, that Kene Japan is the counterfeit of the whole conversation. Is it not interesting? In 1992, when Ken and Co were putting up this structure called MPP, okay?
Ken was not part of those who put up.
Oh, no. In fact, he's put out record. 1992, the fans...
That has been disputed.
No. I've listened to Kwabena J. Japan. Kwabena only disputes the figure.
Signatory.
No, he disputes the figure to a Dubois, not his contribution generally. He only said that, look, if that amount of money had come to a Dubois, because of how close he was with a Dubois, he would have realized it. But he never disputed his contribution. Dr. Bawumia, as we have been told, confirmed by Kwabena Jejepon, Nano Hinto, among others. As at 2007-2008, when Ken Ofori-Atta proposed him, according to Atta Kennedy, he was not even an MPP member. 2007. And to the point that at the National Council meeting at Alisa Hotel, chaired by President Kufuor, that was when a special dispensation, because the MPP constitution then provided that to be running mate, you should be a member for 5 years. Bawumia didn't qualify. So the party had to give him a waiver, a special dispensation. It was after the council meeting at Alisa Hotel that he was given a party membership card signed by Nana Ohi Into. This record cannot be disputed. So between Bawumia and Ken, so to suggest that
say whatever you want.
Ken Ejepon,
so you're saying that there were waivers that were undertaken.
To suggest that,
I'm saying it's not your turn, please.
To suggest that, as it were, Ken is a counterfeit. I mean, it's your internal matter. But you see, I've read the poll by Musa Dankwa.
Yes.
The details. If you read the poll clearly, it says that as we speak today, of the 4,000 persons sampled who are delegates, Bawumia did 43%, correct?
Correct.
Ken Ejepon is doing 28%, correct? 18% undecided. And there was just some 002 Adainimo and Afriya Kutu. If you even put, even within the 400 people, the 4,000 people, what it means is that Bawumia's approval rating, even among the 4,000, is only 43%. That's significant.
You mean even within MPP?
Even within MPP. So if you put all the others, save his, what it means is that those against him of leading the MPP are more.
Undecided is not necessarily against.
Why are you doing this?
This is point of information.
Why are you doing
Roland,
this?
undecided is not necessarily against.
What it means that these
At a
people,
point, and I tell you,
stop this,
there are
stop
people
this.
who are decided who don't even want to reveal the how they're going to vote.
These people do not have the confidence to put out there that, in fact, we support him.
Whether I support Bawumia or Ken.
And that, for me, is significant and revealing. But you see, if you even look at the poll again, and let's go back to the Super Delegates Conference. How many people? 937 people had to decide. That's the creme de la creme in MPP. The first time the MPP started this Super Delegates.
209.
Yes, the first time the MPP started this Super Delegate system, the first person who went through that test was Mr. Akufo-Addo himself. Yes. He came out with 82%, correct?
Yes.
82%. Now his protege, the experiment that he has, Bawumia, when he put himself up within the MPP creme de la creme, he did what?
Got 60.
68%.
Yes.
So significantly,
but 68% is
it's not that. Compared to his former boss, when he was doing in excess of 82%, he is doing 68%. What it tells you, that about 28% or 22 or so within the MPP do not see his candidature as viable among the creme de la creme,
Roland,
which is very significant.
Roland,
so when you put all of these things together, this together, the irresistible conclusion in the words of Ken Ejepon is that the whole Bawumia candidature is a disaster in waiting. I am pleased.
Are you saying that you prefer Ken to DMB? Or I don't understand you.
A man who can easily isolate him from a man who can easily isolate himself.
Answer the question now.
Oh, so please. A man who can easily isolate himself from the mess of Akufo-Addo clearly provides to the ordinary Ghanaian voter a conversation that is different.
Your preference is Ken.
You understand? And that, for me, from a political strategy position,
please,
should be worried.
I want to ask questions. Sorry.
If you put the Bawumia candidature, Bawumia is Akufo-Addo, Akufo-Addo is Bawumia.
What about Ken?
No, Ken can easily say no. When these guys were messing up, I was not part of the people taking the executive decision.
So between Ken and DMB, who do you prefer?
I will say it so that MPP voters will inform their mind.
Or none of them is...
No, but as for the whole MPP, like Ken himself said, they are on their way to opposition.
Roland.
They are on their way to opposition. He is saying that if you give me the flag bearership, that's scared. At least there is a certain chance that we can do something. But as for Bawumia, it's a disaster. And he said, look, I'm a businessman. At the time MPP took over.
So your preference is scared?
Oh, please. At the time MPP took over, I needed 4 cedis to get $1.
Yeah, he said that.
Today, as a businessman, by reason of the incompetence of Bawumia as the chair of the economic mismanagement team, I'm having to cough up 12 cedis to get $1. That is how much of my capital has been taken away from me. And you say, look, Ghanaian businessmen don't care. So they'll go and line up conveyor belts and vote for Bawumia. Then you have no respect for the intelligence of the ordinary Ghanaian.
All right.
Roland, you see, contrary to
Sulu says, I can't wait for more secrets when Ken loses.
Contrary to what Mr. Tamaklo wants everybody to believe, that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is pitching Christians against Muslims, he is rather the opposite. He is a guy who actually goes for the cohesion, more so for him being a Muslim. He's a unifier within the religion.
Are we at war?
So I mean, for what, we are not at war. And for a person like me, my mother is Presbyterian, my father is Muslim. And it's just a bouncing there. Nobody has said that we are at war. And for him to sit on this platform and portray as if that is what Doctor is saying, it is very, very unfortunate.
Do you agree?
Do I agree what?
Do you agree
that
that until Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia started going to churches and going to community that there's not been Muslim or anything, really nobody would have minded if we had or didn't have a Muslim?
No. I tell you, maybe if you wear skin like mine and you have to go for...
What's your skin like?
I'm a Muslim. We admit Muslims are in the minority. You want a leadership position in my constituency.
Maybe it's an NPP
in my
problem.
constituency.
Don't you think
it is not an NPP problem? In my constituency, I go to churches.
Are you saying that
I go to churches?
Touchwood,
and we live. Yeah.
Touchwood,
yeah.
Haruna Idris
yeah.
becomes the presidential candidate of the NDC. You are saying Christians will arise against him to become...
We are not saying that nobody's arising against him. What we are saying is that
nobody was beating this religious drum until DMB came.
No, he's not beating any religious drums. He's working for the cohesion of the two. And that's all. Okay. That's all there is. Making sure that the religion bet is not going to rear its ugly head in our body politic. Look, contrary to what you might say, you will say whatever membership of the party. Are you telling me that J.E. Atta Mills or even Professor Nana Ejima, as vice chancellor of the university or as IRS head, they had party membership before they were selected as running mates within the party? What are you telling us? What are you telling us? Look, this whole EMT thing.
But you have to speak in context because...
in what context?
No, because...
Professor Mills was a lecturer in Lagos.
The context is that there's a constitution. So there's a certain criteria for you to qualify.
That's exactly what I'm coming. Exactly what I'm coming. If you read the book, Working with Rollins by one of the hosts, he tells you how they discovered Professor Mills as a lecturer.
But I'm saying there's a constitution. The constitution is that you have to pre-qualify.
Of course, that's the constitution of their party, and it is not.
So at the time,
it is not. At
the time DMB was selected.
But it's even worse with the NDC. Look, with the NDC, to even run as a member of parliament, you should have been a member for at least 5 years.
Well, you've been an NDC member before.
Oh, but that's their constitution is public.
Yeah,
it's public.
I know that.
And all of that. And I'm asking you. I'm asking you. My question to him is that at the time Professor Mills was selected as a lecturer from University of Ghana, was he a card-bearing member of their party? Why is it that they can do it and we can do it? Why can they do it and we can do it?
I have provided
something like
they keep referring to
EMT. Look, the EMT is an advisory body to cabinet. It is not
an implementation.
Wisdom Kumat.
This man was a member of the finance committee of parliament.
It is not an implementation.
He's saying that Bawumia is Simpapenyi. You know what the accounts call Simpapenyi?
It is an advisory body.
He did there of no value, like one Ghana peso.
Oh, you can't. Oh, Eduje, you can't say that.
That's what he's saying.
No, that's your interpretation.
No, but how can
he's the head of the EMT.
As the chair of the economic management team, he's of no use.
But I thought you as a lawyer should rather actually identify and understand it even better.
His boss.
Who is his boss?
Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo at a rally at Ayaso West Wuogon. Bawleshi School Park precisely. Said Bawumia's mind is what he's using for governance.
Of course, and he has shown it.
And
he has shown it. He has a track record. Look at the record of the government between 2017 and 2020.
That Bawumia's mind is what has created this mess.
Look at the performance between 2017 and 2020. It is very clear.
Kwesi Mensah in the US says, the sense, the two of you, your mics are off. Your mics are off. Okankwe North. Parliamentary candidate, lead parliamentary candidate. The sense of Bawumia called President Mahama Malam John in the presence of Chief Imam is what? He said, what is, okay, why did Dr. Bawumia call former President Mahama Malam John in the presence
he
of...
He was mocking H.E. John Dramani Mahama, calling him names.
All right. Prince Henry says...
What names? We didn't know today will come.
Prince Henry says Mr. Issa is trying hard to justify his inclusion in Dr. Bawumia's good book. That is why he is doing Nipa Yekubra comments. What is Nipa Yekubra comments? BT Sly Nadoli Kalio. Mr. Bawumia, no, it has to be Dr. Bawumia. Dr. Bawumia and the MPP will know their real size in 2024 in the northern region when the election comes. Now, we cannot sit all this while waiting for Big Issue, only for him to come and be speaking as though some of us don't have a mind of our own. If some of us have the opportunity to sit on the platform he's on, he will understand that shouting and heckling doesn't make one... He's young and must know that. That's Rami Hassan Sakumono to Mr. Fuseini. Mr. Fuseini, that's to you. Say today with me, I'm ruling. On the 4th of November, DMB shall win massively. No two ways about this. It is possible. Lukman Abubakar, MPP Vice Chair, Leipzig, Germany. Lukman, you have to come back to Ghana. Roland, we in the NDC would rather be happy for Bawumia to win the Super Delegates Conference because it will be easy for us to beat him in 2024. That is Umar Farouk. And then we have a couple more messages. Now, Mr. Wisdom says, please tell Mr. Fuseini to respect the viewers. Why wasn't he shouting on the Garo issue? And he's shouting all over the place. He says you should respect the viewers. Sir. Julius Agaoa and Tahiru says, the military brutalities in the Upper East were unfortunate, and those involved should be identified and given the opportunity, the necessary punishment to serve as deterrent to other military men. All right. Now, we'll be cashing out. So before we do the cash out, Mr. Lawson, please, there's a verified info now I have about from National Security. This one was given to me by Mr. Fuseini. And I've verified it. It's true. Please put it on the screen. Let's do cash out. We'll put it on the screen before we go. Just without your reserve, Mr. Lawson. Please just download it for me. So let's do cash out. Again, it goes with the short code *439#. Mr. Lawson will put those pictures before. It got to do with the Garo issue. Now let's do the cash out. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Cash out. Okay. So the winner is 0241316. 0241316. Are we doing a second one? Okay, can we have those pictures on the screen, please? And for the people of Garo, yes, so let this one stay. So Fuseini, you are saying these are verified pictures from National Security. These are the bullet holes. National Security is reporting that were the holes made by the guns, the multiple rounds of shots into the National Security vehicle. Verified from National Security.
Is that not the more reason why they needed to investigate and get the culprit? Because you see, when you
So they had
fight,
gone. They had gone in there to retrieve those vehicles.
when
So-
you
so
fight,
the
there
national
are
security-
bullets. There are bullets.
The national
so you can
security-
actually draw.
They had gone
where
in
the
there
gun
to
that it came
retrieve
from.
their
You don't go
weapons.
and
Please,
beat
please,
people.
They had
Gentlemen.
gone there
They
to
were
retrieve
retrieving
their
guns
weapons.
from the
Gentlemen.
back of people. You didn't see the
I don't know.
picture.
I mean,
Gentlemen,
even
I
police
also
people
have
are
an
allowed
authority.
to do with
Somebody,
some.
a source high up in the armed forces, Ghana Armed Forces, who currently is there, says that a security installation, it's a machine actually, that is used to intercept signals across our borders, were destroyed by the individuals. It cost Ghana millions of dollars to be able to procure that. These individuals, they sacked their homes, they had guns, we're told. They destroyed a national security installation belonging to Ghana.
So they had to go and beat
That
them.
facility
Is that
is
why
used.
this person
Mr.
higher
Adibu,
up is
that
saying,
facility is used.
Allow him to.
That
go and
facility
beat
is
them.
used to
you know-
intercept signals from our borders. If there are any incursions, etc., they were destroyed by the individuals. All right. And then somebody else said the pictures are made up. All right. So we'll see. There's going to be Fuseni Issa Okankwe North. He is the lead candidate for the
How did you come to
parliamentary
that
race.
conclusion? How did you
For
come
the
to that
NPP in
conclusion?
Okankwe North. Eduji
Friends of the
Tamaklo.
Fia.
Eduji Tamaklo is director for the legal directorate of the
Friends
NDC.
of
Newly minted director
We're
of
taking a break, go right back.
legal. Newly minted.
Friends of
You
the
should add
Fia.
that.
Friends of the Fia.
Amaliba is one now.
From now to the end of December, win instant prizes whenever you buy 30 Ghana cedis or more of Gino or Promo Tomato Mix, Gino Curry and Gino Max. Simply dial star 844 star 99 hash. The code from your coupon followed by the hash key and follow the instructions to redeem your prizes like TVs, phones, blenders, cloth, airtime, and an opportunity to win our grand prize of a whole kitchen makeover.
A whole kitchen makeover.
Yes, and keep buying for a surprise visit from us.
Yum yum ho and select Dakazi.
No, Kululu.
That's buy, scratch and win. And it's simple.
This advert is FDA approved.
Are you ready? The biggest bonus ever! Promotion with cool prizes and many other bonus offers. Support 24/7. OneXBet gives you more. Use promo code to get your biggest bonus.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Played responsibly, not for persons below 18 years. Gambling can be addictive.
Colgate Herbal is formulated from unique natural herbs to strengthen teeth and keep gums healthy. Try Colgate Herbal, scientifically proven for strong teeth and healthy gums. This advert is FDA approved.
Everybody knows Acrobato. And if you know Acrobato, it means you know M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic is my pillar. Let's hear what others are saying about M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. Who will be careful M-Punch one?
Chese na me ankasa me period na say problems wom. Ntina ma wo ho idea ma me. Papa chese na nya asem ketewa. Na me coin point no, mo hwe me mogam no mo hwe bibia na so mo meduro. Mo meduro me fire no. Ene ma won kra mienu. Kofro kwa na mkwan mu a eba.
Head everything yourself.
Me ma me no adwodwo eda ho a wontumi nante. Ene ne ko end point. Omama nunu